72. The magnetic sleep. Cornelius steps closer to me and asks, "Lord, during the course of your above godly speech and teaching, you have mentioned that a spiritually perfect person can put his hands on another person, and that this person will soon afterwards fall into an ecstatic sleep and make wise speeches with a healthy soul, irrespective of being a however blind and completely stupid person. If I only could see the process of such a treatment, then I would know how such salutary experiment is to be carried out on someone, if it is necessary. But if one is a layman regarding the treatment process, even with the best will, one cannot undertake anything, and therefore achieve nothing. Would you like to entrust me with some further details?" I said, "Oh yes, with pleasure, since this act is absolutely necessary for the recovery of a lost bodily or also soul health. Since for one, the pure laying on of hands eases the most severe bodily pain, and in addition, it is most often the case that the person on whom the hands had been laid with a firm belief and a strong will to cure him will become clairvoyant and can determine a suitable medicine for himself, which, according to his own prescription applied, must bring him complete recovery. Naturally, if somehow, against his prescription, opposing cases have taken place, it will not go well with the complete recovery. But if the prescription is carried out as an undisturbed treatment, full recovery must certainly will take place. But if any human person is brought into a clairvoyant sleep during this healing treatment, he or she should not be disturbed or weakened by all kind of pointless questions, but only be asked what is necessary. Whoever lays his hands on someone must do it in my name. Otherwise, his treatment would be of no use and has no effect. It requires a firm, unshakable belief and an equally unshakable, firm will. Such an endeavour must come out of the heart's deepest ground and must arise out of true neighbourly love. Then the power of love will fill the hands of the handlayer and penetrates through his fingertips and flows like a soft dew into the nerves of the patient and heals the often stinging and often burning pain. However, it is quite important to note that it requires more to place a man into an ecstatic sleep than a woman. In certain cases, a man can also be placed into an ecstatic sleep by a woman. The devout woman, however, could only achieve success with such a treatment with the help of an invisible angel standing next to her, which she made serviceable to herself through prayer and pureness of the heart. Such devout women could provide relief to especially those who give difficult birth and with great pain. This would be better than midwives usually travelling to Bethlehem to learn the art to assist someone giving birth, whereby a heap of all kinds of superstitious means are applied in the most silly manner, which always cause more harm than usefulness. Which extremely silly and ridiculous ceremonies are carried out, especially during the first births. If a girl is born first, then all kinds of silly laments must be sung, and it is required to sigh and bawl pitifully for 3 days. If a little boy is born, calves and lambs must be slaughtered, and buns be baked, and all singers, pipers, and violinists must come together to make an ears-tearing noise for the whole day, which supposedly should provide relief for her labour pains. Therefore, instead of such stupidities, the above-mentioned birth support would be much more useful. Said Cornelius, "Certainly, yes. But how does a woman achieve such devoutness?" I said, "Very easy. Foremost, a good upbringing is required, and then a thorough education of an fully ripe virgin. Irrespective how ripe the maiden is, the education must only be given after examining the true devoutness of her heart. But also men can assist during birth by laying on of hands to provide great relief.